All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Strength and conditioning here with Lucas, and this is our Live for Lives charity drive where we pretty much trade our training sessions for donation purposes for Save the Children Coronavirus Response Fund. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for those who donated, and thank you for those who will be donating. Make sure you like and subscribe if it's your first time visiting through. And other than that, let's get started with what we got planned for today. So,
all right,
Lucas, I'll hold this for you, man. Put this for the camera.
So this week,
Run us through the session.
we're going to be progressing off of last week again. We're going to start off building up off that 1 minute malasana, and then we're going to add a couple different rotations at the end. Building into our control phase, we're going to work a new hip flow, so kind of opening up our hips a little bit more, and then we're going to get into active runner stance hold to a single leg quad stretch. Then we're going to work our knee openers, our ankle openers with our knee drive into our single leg skaters that are stable. And then we're going to add that plyo dynamic at the end. Moving into our strength phase, we're working our legs to start. We're going to start with our trunk. We're going to start loaded and active. And then we're going to get into sumo squats, do our single leg knee drives for stability over our ankle from low lunge. Our single leg kick side lunge, so we're going to add to that side lunge with a little bit of mobility. Then we're going to get into our hip shifts from runner stance, just prepping those legs for our power.
Sweet.
Moving into our chest and shoulders, we got our seated press on the wall to warm up those shoulders again. We're going to get into those slow plank shoulder taps, progressing into our caterpillar walkouts for the shoulders. Ending there, we're going to get into our eccentric press, working into a hand release press, so kind of working off of that slow press. We're going to get off, release, and then get back into it. And then we're into our our press to side plank. So
All right.
We'll go through that. We're going to hit 10 on each side.
Sounds good.
Moving into our legs, we got our plyo skaters, so we'll run through all those different variations again, hopefully building up to that final one eventually. Into our single leg knee drives, we're going to add a little plyo into it at the end there, and then our knee drive side lunge with the hip shift. So that's going to be our side lunges tied in with the hip shifts at the end. So we're going to tie it all together.
Things in.
Yeah. And then we're going to do our knee cleans with a jump at the end if we can add to it.
Okay.
For our power chest, so our X-ups are going to be our kind of skill maneuver over the archer from last week. We still got our clap, and then we're going to get into our judo press to finish it off as we progress into our yoga cool down.
Sweet.
So we got a long workout today. We're going to start off though in our malasana, getting those hips opened up.
Long workout, y'all. Long.
We're going to be sitting into it.
Man,
Tune it
just
down just a little
There
bit.
you go.
So we're going to be sitting into it.
Malasana, y'all.
Trying to level those arms out if we can. Taking nice, deep, easy breaths here. In through the nose. Releasing that tension out the mouth. So we can add those neck rotations once we get comfortable in our positioning. We can slowly rotate to the left. Drawing in that area. Releasing as we rotate. Trying to get as far as we can in that tension and then rotating across. We're going to add to a little bit of spine twist here. So we're going to plant that left foot down, looking overhead. We're going to reach for the sky. I'm going to hold here for a second. Coming on to the other side, looking overhead, reaching up. Making sure not to hold our breath here. We're coming down, inhaling. Releasing all that tension as we work across. One more on this side. Getting into our final movement here, we're going to reset. We're going to get those arms straight out. We're going to try and stabilize over our hips. We're going to work those rotations. Again, we don't want to be holding our breath here. Prepping that body for our movement to come. Recentering ourselves once we get back. Taking one more deep breath here. Releasing and pressing through. You can walk those feet in a little bit. We're just gonna add a little bit of yoga real quick. We're gonna go for our overhead side body bend, half moon. We can lock those hands if we want. Looking off to that other side. We're gonna bring it back to our midpoint and work for our back extension. And slowly falling forward to our forward fold. We're gonna take a nice deep breath here. Slowly rising up, rounding it back over. Cleaning those shoulders into alignment. Now that we've centered that breath, we're gonna progress out of this stage into our hip flow. So how this is gonna work, it's gonna run in progressive stages. So we want our Z stance here. We can bring our arms out in front of us to stabilize us. And we're gonna be keeping our feet on the floor. How it works is we're just rotating those hips over. So again, we're here, we're stable, we're just rotating those hips, trying to keep those feet plastered. Working across. So this is our first movement here. Trying to be controlled throughout the whole movement. We're not rushing ourselves. Once we feel comfortable here, we don't have to progress out of this stage until we're comfortable. We're gonna work on cleaning those hips through. So we're pressing up through. Good, and we're down. Nice and controlled. We rotate over. Get to our point, press through, clean those hips up. Nice and controlled, releasing. Down, we want to come down as controlled as possible, then we rotate over. Clean it through again. Coming down. Pressing through, one more on this side. Working back over, we're gonna add one more thing to it here. So as we press up, we're gonna slip that leg through. We're trying to slide it through into our low lunge. Forward, so I'll show you what that looks like. A front angle. So we're coming here, flipping over, pressing through, and we slide that leg through to our low lunge. Getting that extension overhead, we can add to it with a little shift to that knee side. Getting into that IT band. Bringing it back. Controlling it through. Shifting over and up. Working that low lunge glide. One more here. And then on both sides. Centering ourselves, finishing strong. That's gonna conclude our hip opener. We can press up. We're gonna get into our active knee holds here. Working into our hips and our groin area a little bit more. We're pressing up. We're gonna hold 1, 2, 3, get that knee all the way up to that chest. And we're coming down. Hold 1, 2, 3, trying to get as much extension there at the end. And we're down. Trying to pair that breath, inhaling. And releasing. Nice and strong over that ankle here. Prepping for all our single leg work to come. We can add to it a little bit more here. We're gonna go up and I'm gonna try and get on those toes a little bit, working that ankle flexion. One more on each side. Good work. Slowly progressing, we're gonna get into our quad stretch. So we're going into our flamingo, trying to stabilize. We get a little bit of bend in our knee. Shifting forward, levering back, off to that other side. So stabilizing, getting a little bit of bend in the knee. Shifting forward, levering back. And we don't want to be holding our breath, controlling down, levering back. Trying to keep those eyes up as we lever forward. We don't want to round over too much. Nice and controlled. Got one more on each side. Last one. Good work. You can shake it off a little bit. We're gonna get into our isolated holds now. Really prepping for that knee drive. We're gonna be working it a lot today. So we're up, stable to start. We're gonna work that plantar and dorsiflexion. Prepping that ankle. And toes to the ceiling. Plantar flex down, dorsiflex. Working those rotations around the world now. Getting that ankle nice and loose. Nice and controlled. Working back around the other way. Work nice and stable over that other ankle. Last one. And we're down. Shifting over to that other side. Evening it up. We gotta get those toes to the ceiling to start. Plantar down. To the ceiling. Working that full range of motion in our ankle. Good, one more. Working rotations around the world. Trying to get that ankle as loose as possible. The more range of motion we have in the ankle, the more depth we can get into each of our movements. Bringing it back around the other way. Work. Almost there, last one. Level on that foot, and we're down. We're gonna get into our opener here. So we're up, we're out, and back. So we're out, back, that's one. Trying to keep that whole midline forward. We're just working that hip. External rotation. One more. And we're down. Off to the other side. Nice and stable over that ankle. Pair that breath. Last one. Bring it back. We got our extensions now. Our kickouts, our last one. We're here, and then we're getting that full extension. 1, 2, trying to get that toe pointed out. 3, 4, 5, 3 more, 6, 7, and 8. Good work. Up to the other side. 1, 2, 3. Trying to get that full extension here. 4, halfway there. 5, 6. Nice and strong over that ankle. 7, and 8. Good work. Bringing it down nice and controlled. We're going to be prepping for that end plyo here, so we're really trying to stabilize over that ankle. Now that we've prepped it, we're coming across, stable, sticking it, just working that cross movement. Trying to lock in that ankle. We're going to hold 1, 2, 3, explode across 1, 2, 3. Hold 1, 2, 3, locking it in. Trying to tie those arms in if we can, keeping those eyes up. Almost there. Halfway. Work. Really locking that ankle in. Last one across. And we're up. We can grab a quick water. We're going to get into our legs next in our strength phase. Still tight?
A little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So into our strength phase. Today we don't have any source of objects that we need. We're just going to run through all our different movements. So starting with our loaded to active, we're going to just get into our regular squat stance. We're going down, pressing through. We're going to hold though for our loaded. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're up. And we're off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pressing through. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, pressing through. Trying to keep those eyes up here, shoulders back. 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 2, 3, 2, 5. Pressing through, driving to the floor. Last one. 4, 3, 2, 5. Now we're active. We're going through that full range of motion. Down, 1, 2, pressing through. 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 One more. Down, 1, 2, pressing through. Good work. So we're going to open that stance up just a little bit more. We're getting wider now. We're getting into our sumo. So again, similar, we're down, and then we're pressing through, driving to that floor. And we're down, up, 1, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, down, up, 5, down, up, 6, almost there, up, down, up, 7, down, up, 8, down, up, 9, last one, down, up, 10. And walk those feet in. We're gonna get down to that single leg. We're working that drive to stability. We're gonna add that plyo at the end here. So we're starting with that right. We're nice and strong over that knee as we drive through, stabilize. Those arms transition with us. And we're slowly gliding back. That's 1, 2. So if we have to, we can stop at this midpoint and then go back. 3. 4. 5. Making sure those arms are tied in with that opposite knee. 6. 7, last one, and 8, nice and strong. Good work. And to the other side, we gotta even it up. We're gliding through, stable. That's 1. Feeling that foot activate and hold our ankle up here. 2, trying to get as much engagement out of that foot. 3, 4, 5, we want to be as controlled through all these movements as possible. 6, 7, last one, finishing strong. And 8, all the way through. All right, we got our kick to side lunge here. So how this is gonna work, usually we'd be dropping to our lunge and up. We're gonna add the kick around to lunge. We're up and then we're into the other side. Kick around to lunge. You got it? So we're just rotating sides here.
Oh, I got it.
And we're working. Kicking up into it. That's 1, 2, 3. Nice and stable. We want to keep that body in the midline the whole time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 2 more. 11 and 12. Good work. All right, getting into our hip shifts now. So we're progressing on into our runner stance. Same thing as earlier. We're in that knee drive. How this works is we're down and back up. That's 1. Down, back up. That's 2. So if we have to, we can just come down and then back up slow. Down, back up until we can progress to where we're up, touching down, trying to be light on that foot that touches down. So we're starting with that right knee up. As we can hear Tone, we're pairing that breath in, so we're down, trying to release. And we got 10 here on this right side. 1, 2, 3, 4, nice and quick. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good work. Off that other side. No break here. We're up with that left, touching down. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. We're gonna finish always with our trunk glute bridges real quick. I know I didn't mention it in the pyramid, but we're gonna just add it in today. I know we can all handle it. So we're gonna be up, working that isolated just hold to start. We're getting on our shoulders, keeping those hips up. We got those check markers to make sure our hips are high enough. Making sure those glutes are activated, squeezing the whole time. And we're up. Taking easy breaths here, trying to provide that body with oxygen throughout the workout. Squeeze, trying to get those hips as high as we can. Slowly lowering down. Taking deep, easy breaths here. We're going to get into our kick throughs, working that single leg movement. We're going to be holding up the whole time for these ones. So we're up. Getting that single leg, trying to get that toe pointed to the ceiling. Then we transition. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and controlled. We're not rushing through the movement. 6, 7. Inhaling on the up, releasing on the down. 8. Making sure to check those hips, make sure they're up. 9, 10, halfway there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These last 4, we're going to slow it down even more. 17, 18. Two more as slow as we can. 19. And 20. Work, everybody. Dropping those hips. You're reloading it that there. We're gonna stretch out that T-spine, dropping them to the side as much as we can. We're gonna hold. Isolating that stretch, taking easy breaths here, trying to provide that lower back with some oxygen. One more deep breath on the side. We're slowly shifting the unit out. Bringing it back to our midpoint. We got one more set. We're going to finish with our burnout here. We're going up. Now onto our shoulders. Making sure those hips are up. We're going to walk out to our midpoint. We got our walkouts, our finisher. Getting one step out, getting a little bit of length in that body. We just got our shoulder blades and our feet on the ground right now. Our whole posterior side of our chain is getting activated. One more deep breath here. We're going to release that and step out to our farthest point, getting that full length in our body. We should be on our heels right now, pushing our body to its breaking point. Really burning it out here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're back to our midpoint. Finishing this one strong. Keeping those hips up high here. Making sure to control that breathing. We don't want to be holding our breath. We're back to our bridge, nice and tall. Pressing through those heels as high as we can. We're finishing with those calves, getting into it, onto those toes. Last burnout here, really trying to engage those calf muscles. Last 5 seconds, we're going to squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lowering those feet down. Dropping those hips down. We're going to pull for those feet. Plastering that lower back and roll it out a little bit. Rewarding ourselves for the work we just put in. One more deep breath here. Slowly making our way up. We're going to get into our press now. I'm going to have Tony just shift real quick. Probably just turn it.
Raja.
Put it over facing this way for right now. We're just going to work our chest and shoulders, so our upper body. We're just going to be prepping it first. So we're sitting down into our seat. We want to check those legs, make sure they're flattened out at 90. We're going arms up, 90, making that 90 with those arms, and we're pressing straight up through, coming back down, pressing through, coming down, working those shoulders, trying to keep those fingertips to the wall if we can. And we're up, 2, 3, controlling that breathing through the movement. 4, 5, 6, 6. We should feel that engagement in our lower section here as well on the wall. 8, 9, last one, pressing through. 10, good work. Making our way up the wall. Back over. We're gonna get into our plank taps again. So we're nice and strong up front. Maybe working that cross body shoulder tap. So we're really working that single arm stabilization. We're gonna put an emphasis on slowing it down at the end here. So we're on me. And we're all up. This is working our core here as well. So we're trying to engage that abdomen and we're working across. That's 1, 2, 3. Trying to keep those eyes up if we can. 4, 5, 6, 7. Making sure to add that breath in there. 8, 9, 10. We're halfway there. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're slowing it down here. 16, 17, 18, 19, as slow as we can. 20. Good work coming out of it. We can stand up now. We're gonna get a little bit more active with our shoulders and our core work. We got our caterpillar walkouts. We're not gonna add any presses this time because we got a lot of different press variations we're gonna work through today. So we're just straight up, we're down, walking out to plank nice and strong, walking back up, cleaning through, getting up all the way up. All right. And we're working. Nice and tall, that's 1. Cleaning through, 2. Don't want those hips drooping at all in our plank. We want to be nice and solid all the way up to our body. 3. Engaging that abdomen here. 4, really getting those shoulders clean back. 'Tall, we got 3 more. Work, finishing strong. Once we get to the end of our plank, we want to pull those eyes up, really lock it out, and work our way back up. Last one, finishing strong. Cleaning through. All right. That's going to conclude our little bit of shoulder core work. Now we're getting into our presses. We're going to load with our eccentric press. So here, we're working through that range of motion. We want to be as controlled as possible down and loaded. Then we're pressing through. So slow as possible down. Eyes are up, and we're up. That's 1. Slow, load it down. Pressing through. 2. Really trying to pair that breath in. We're down. Inhaling. Releasing as we come up. 3. 2 more here. Really loading those muscles. Pressing through. Last one more on me. Really trying to load slow. We're gonna hold at this low point. Getting those eyes up. We're pressing through. That's our last one. We're up. Shake our arms out a little bit. We got 2 more sets to run through for our press. We're gonna get into our hand release press next. So just demonstrating. We're up in our press. We're coming down and we're coming up. So we're releasing all that tension, then we're back up. We got a set of 8 here. Running down, releasing, pressing through. That's 1. Down, inhale, we release, we press, we exhale. 2. Slow, nice and controlled. Up, pressing through. 3. Up. 4, halfway there. Releasing, pressing through. 5. 6, 2 more. Really burning it out. 7. Last one. 8, good work. So we have our last one here. We're gonna work our press to plank. So how this looks is we're pressing, we press down, we're gonna get a little bit wider with our feet here so we can stabilize, look up, get that extension. We're gonna hold 1, 2, down, and we press. Are we ready? And we're up, down, and up.
Ready.
Looking over. That's 1. 2. 3. Nice and controlled. 4, we're halfway there. 5, we get that core working, that side obliques and that reach up. 6. Down. Releasing that breath. 7. Last one, finishing strong. 8. We're gonna get into a little opener to stretch us out before we get into our finisher for our chest. We can grab a quick water, rehydrate again. We're gonna
water break
finish with
man.
that.
You got water
We're gonna
break.
finish with some power for our legs and chest. Alright. Making our way back.
You know what's funny? I never felt better being bald, you know? 'Cause
Oh yeah.
it works.
That's how I felt when I was coming back from Portugal and I cut my hair. When I was super long and I buzzed it. It felt because my hair used to get like caught and stuff and like it's just a hassle to deal with every day.
I believe it.
Although now with the whole quarantine, it's time to grow it back out, I guess.
Shoot.
All right, so getting into our legs, we got our plyo now. Again, I'm gonna run through our different variations of our skaters. So if we're at the beginner phase, we're running through, we're still locking it in. If we feel comfortable, we can get a little active, reactive with those feet.
Intermediate, okay.
We
all
load.
right.
If we can't, we get across, we can stabilize that knee drive, we can progress to that state. Otherwise, we're hopping up. Getting that extra press through. Working up, stable down, nice and controlled. Then we come across. And we're working through it. We got 10
I
here.
want to let them see your foot placement. There you go.
Coming across, we're up, stable, sticking into our runner stance. We got that opposite arm tied with that knee. And we're up. That's 1, 2, 3. Sticking it stable, explosive across. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. 9, 10. Good work. Really working that single leg stability here. We're gonna get into our single leg knee drive. So similar to what we were working before, that up, stable. We're gonna add a little bit to it. So we're reactive off the start. We're popping and down. So we pop, use that as a little bit of momentum, that rock back, to drive our knee through and up, and then we control it back down. So if we have to, we can stay at that beginner stage still. Just work up, controlled, hitting our second set. Otherwise, we're adding to it. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're explosive, we're releasing all that breath in the knee drive through. 5, 6, 2 more. 7, last 1, finishing strong. 8, work. Off to the other side, we gotta even it up. Same thing, if we need to modify, we can, otherwise we're explosive through. We're up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last 1, 8. Catching our breath here. We're almost there. We got 2 more for our legs. So that side lunge that we had earlier, where we're coming across, we're coming up, we're gonna be bringing it back up to that 90. So if we can't, we're gonna start off with just the easiest movement is coming down, side lunge, back up to our 90. If we can get back up to our 90, we're gonna add that shift. So we're down, up. We can take it slow to start. Up, up, back across, until we can speed it up. 2. Releasing all that breath. 3, 4, trying to be as quick as possible. 5, 6, 7, last 1, and 8. Catching that breath, we gotta even it up. Again, we're on that left side, we can go to that lunge if we want. And then we're up, stable. Otherwise, we're headed to it. Up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last 1, and 8. Finishing strong here. We got our knee cleans. So, again, if we have to, we can modify. We don't want to have our feet curling. All our pop is coming from our knees here. So we're gonna, if we can clean through and press through. Otherwise, we can modify, we'll shift those hips, press through. Step back, switch it up, work the other side first, press through. We got a set of 10 here.
Modify first for everybody.
Oh yeah. That's our eventually here, so once we can get to our knee drive, our double leg, we're gonna get to single legs. So this next month, if we're locked on again, we're gonna be working for this to single leg, and then we'll add the single leg skater to it.
What are we doing that?
Not today. That's our progressive. So we gotta get through this first month to progress to that single leg pop.
I'll be ready.
First, we're cleaning to 2. And we're up, pressing through, that's 1. 2. 3, we're keeping those eyes up. We come down, we're explosive up. 4, 5, halfway there. 6, 7, finishing those legs up strong. 8, 2 more. 9, and 10. Good work, everybody.
Thank you.
Good work.
What I do.
All right. Finishing with our complex power chest movements. We're gonna work our X up to start. So how this one works is we can modify, obviously, onto our knees. We're going cross arm, X. So we're making that X as we come up. We got a set of 6 here. And onto the legs, pressing up, that's 1.
Slow, man.
Control down, pressing through, 2. 3, really engaging that core here. 4, 5,
Now I remember why Bethany
that's 1.
was laughing at me.
6, and we're down. We're gonna open our chest up here before we get into our last 2.
Woo!
Taking those arms out to the side. We're gonna kick that leg across.
Here comes the boom.
Trying to get that foot as close to our hand as possible.
Woo!
Taking easy breaths here. One more deep breath. Release and bring it across, nice and controlled. Evening up that stretch. We got 2 more presses, and then we're gonna get into our cool down. One more deep breath here. Bring it back. All right, we got our clap pushes. So for this one, we can just do a regular push if we want to, or any other complex movement we might have worked throughout the week. So we're up, we're down, we're pressing through, we're gonna clap it out. That's 1, 3, 4, 5. One more, we're adding to it. 6, good work. All right, we got our finisher here, our judo push. So how this one works, it's gonna be our progression into our yoga phase. We're gonna start in downward as far as we can, so we're trying to get those heels to the ground. We're looking up, pressing through those hands into our scorpion. Then we take it back, downward, look through those hands, scorpion.
Here we go.
Bring it back to downward, looking up, bringing those hands, gliding through those hands, pulling those eyes up. That's 1. Bringing it back to downward, looking through. 2. Good work here. Gliding through. 3. We got 2 more. And that full extension, trying to really get them that stretch here. Gliding through, picking those eyes up. 4, last 1. In the down, we're going to hold the downward. And then we're looking through, gliding. Bringing that gaze up. We can drop our knees now. We're going to be progressing to our cool down. Dropping it back. Trying to ease that breath. Sitting into our child's pose. Really rewarding yourself for all that work we just put in. Trying to control our breathing here. We're going to work a little bit of a kind of rotator, shoulder opener here. We're going to get onto our fingers to get that extra engagement in our hands. Bring it around your shoulders. And then we're gonna just see as far as we can take it out. We're gonna walk them out. Trying to see if we can get all the way out to our full T. We're gonna hold here, take a breath. And slowly make our way back with those hands. Flatten back out. We're gonna work that side rotation here, so we can walk that hand over. Getting a little bit more into our side obliques here, our chest, even up in the shoulders. Really trying to center that breath here. We can target that oxygen to where we're trying to stretch, really focusing on that point. We're shifting across that other side. Taking one more deep breath here. Bring it back. We got one more, just our slip throughs. Sliding that hand through. We're gonna make this one active here. So we're gonna pull. We're gonna try and keep that arm down the whole time just to work up, and then we're back down again, trying to get that full extension. Trying to get to as far as we can in the stretch, and then we hold for a second at that point. Bring it back, nice and controlled. We got one more. Switching over to that other side. Again, we're trying to just drag that arm the whole way out. We got one more, nice and controlled. Good hold here. Slowly drag it out. We're going to engage those feet, keep it downward, pressing through, and walk up nice and controlled. Staying in this forward fold to start. We're going to take a deep breath. Taking one more deep breath here. We're going to level out that back. Trying to make a 90-degree angle with our torso and legs. Letting everything else just hang. Really letting that breath center yourself here. We're gonna round over, slowly rise, letting that vertebrae line. Taking those arms and that gaze above head. Slowly bring it down. Namaste. That concludes our class today. Thank you for everyone who showed up. Hopefully we enjoyed it. Woo! That's that time. If you don't already, like and subscribe to the channel.
Smash that like button. Subscribe. Thank you for those tuning in. And yeah, it's our third week. Yeah,
Week 3.
This is week 3, man. This is week 3. Tomorrow, yoga with Heather Smith. Yeah, she'll bring us back down. So we'll finish off strong there. Good work, man. Thanks for bringing some variety to our sessions.
Yeah, like I said, we all work through these progressions, and next month, we're still in this. We got some more progressive stages to get to.
Got a feeling we'll still be in this.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We are working on some things, man. You'll be surprised of how much work we're getting done and a different way that we're going to be bringing services to you guys in the future. So everybody have a blessed weekend. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you soon.